Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rachel Freeman Sowers Live Show, the go-to place for female professionals and entrepreneurs who want to be more bold in the expression of themselves, their missions, and their truth in the online world and with video. Welcome, and I'm so happy to have all of you here. I'm just going to adjust my camera really quick. This week, I don't know about all of you, but this week has been tech week from hell. I went through 3 routers this week. It's been crazy, but I'm not here to talk about all the tech issues, because if you want to do video, you will have tech issues. It's really how you want to be handling those tech issues that are going to really allow you to then be like, hey, okay, I'm going to go ahead and move through this, right? So right now I can't get my Canon camera to work. I don't want to have a different kind of sound. I want this sound, so I'm using headphones. So now I'm in a video with headphones, and it just is what it is. And I'm excited to talk about tonight's topic because there's been affirmation after affirmation after affirmation that video is quickly, rapidly becoming the #1 preferred way for platforms such as Facebook, Instagram. I don't know if you saw the Instagram CEO or founder or whatever he is. He was on Instagram, gave an announcement saying, we're going to start really pushing video. We want to get into this video game. Facebook's a little bit behind. LinkedIn is way behind. So if you're hiding from video in LinkedIn, I want to challenge you right now to get out of LinkedIn and do some video, or do video on LinkedIn. I just started TikTok, so I'm having a good time with that. You can see some of my my videos on TikTok. And, it's just this really creative exploration. But the fact of the matter is that it is going to be the #1 driver behind businesses and information dissemination to the public. And so if you are currently an entrepreneur and you are not using video at all, or you're not taking advantage of the full power of video in your business, then I would love to hear from you in the comments, if you're willing, whether you're watching the live or recorded. What are those reasons that you're not using video to the fullest? One of the things I hear from my clients is I want to use video, but I just don't know how to do it. Another thing is I want to use video, but I don't think I have the right equipment. Or I want to use video, but I don't have the right background. Like, your background is so professional. It has all these things. I don't have the room to do it. One of the other things is I'm just not comfortable. I'm an introvert. Well, I'm an extrovert, and I don't like always being on video, but I love communicating with people in a deeper way. And so video for me is more than just this vehicle to talk to people and just to say whatever. Video for me is a place to connect and have a deeper connection. It's a place for me to show people my heart, to show people my intentions, to be vulnerable, to show my humanness so that other people can see their own humanness. That is what video is to me. And that's why I have this deep passion for helping female entrepreneurs and professionals to really leverage the fullest power of video, but not in a way where you're worried about how many views you get or how many likes you get, but in a way that is truly, truly authentic to you. That is truly authentic to you. Because when you allow yourself to be yourself in this space, it is so, so very powerful. And when people tell me they don't know how, people say, I want to get on social media, but I just don't know what to say. There's no magic bullet to what to say. There's no script that someone has given you that will work every single time with everybody. If I gave one client a script, I would need to write a different script for every single client because each one is different. That's why I work with women one-on-one. Because I really value this individual, curated way of helping each woman where she is at. And some are in the beginning, and some are more in the middle, and some are in this later stages of their video journey and their business journey and the expression of themselves. You see, it's really easy on Instagram or on LinkedIn to write something and put a nice, pretty picture up there. But what isn't always easy is coming in front of the camera and being in your head. Let me know if you can associate with this. But when I first started, it was like, what are you doing? You don't even know what you're saying. What if you mess up? I can't believe you're even saying this. So many other people are already talking about this. I mean, my head was so full of reasons why I didn't need to be there. And really, it's not about the background. It's not about even the script. It's not really even about your equipment, because I have some really good equipment, and tonight it's just not working out for me. So I'm using the bare bones and basics, and it's good enough. But what it really is the embarrassment that we can feel, or the nervousness, and maybe even like feeling terrified or really, really fearful about showing up as you. And so many times we don't know ourselves, or we've been told who we are and what to do and how to do it. And we've gone in this cultural belief system, and we've been told what's right and what's wrong, and don't be too loud, or don't be too, forthright, or don't wear your hair like that, or you need to have whiter teeth, or you need to lose weight, or you need to gain weight. I mean, all of this stuff that has been conditioned in us are the things that keep you away from video. And the important work lies in dismantling every single neurological pattern, way of being that is no longer helpful for you. Because I know that so many of you are ready to take the next step. But then we get into that fear, and it holds us back, right? We get into that old thought pattern, or our body has a somatic reaction that really does stop us and says, hey, we're in trouble. We're not safe. It's not safe. It's not safe. Right? And what are some things that you can do to move through that? And each person that I work with, I just love working with women one-on-one. Each person that I work with, we find what that is for them, and we start dismantling those beliefs. We start dismantling these cultural bullshit that we've been told. I was talking to someone today earlier, and she's like, I still don't understand why guys can walk around with no shirts on and women can't, when women are beautiful too. And it's so funny, because when she had said that, I went to run an errand, and there's this guy, and he wasn't particularly good looking, and he didn't have a perfect body, but he was out there walking around with the shirt off, because it's freaking hot in Redding, California right now. And I thought, what is that about, that we have to continue to keep ourselves in these boxes? And she was really challenging me, like, how can you step out of these cultural constructs? And I'm going to just warn you right now, that doesn't mean I'm going to go out today and walk around without a shirt on. I'm not there yet. So no worries about that. But what cultural constructs are you recognizing that are really like holding you back? What constructs do you see that really that you don't want to have anymore, that you want to start shedding? This is something I'm also looking at. You'll notice I'm going to have some different things in my background. Like this statue right here is the statue my dad created. He made it, and she's called the Beast. And maybe some of you have seen it before in some of my videos, but she used to be in the living room, and I've moved her in here. Because for me, what she truly represents is this fierceness. And it's not aggression, but it's like Amazon warrior fierceness. And what she represents and brings into my space is my dad that created her, and that it came out of his mind. I mean, so many times he would tell me, I can't believe this came out of my mind. Like, this was in his imagination. It almost reminds me too of like the movie Avatar, something like that is what she reminds me of. And it's really stepping out of this constructs about what I believe to be acceptable in a background and what I don't. What you may notice over here is there's going to be some different art that you're going to see in some different shots. And for me, putting that in my videos is intentional. And it's because I want to be, I love art, first of all. Our house is kind of like an art gallery. But art speaks to me on so many levels. And I love bright colors, and I love all different kinds of art, just like I love all different kinds of music. And so as I rotate artwork on the wall, hopefully from some local artists, some artists out of the area, but as I do that, you're going to see the main intention of this is to be inclusive and to have a space where I am always learning to shed these cultural constructs that I have been told that are right for me, when that may not even be my truth anymore. So if we get back to what is really stopping you, this shame, this embarrassment, this not being enough, this I don't have what I need, or I need more knowledge. It's not even not being enough as far as like what you look like, but maybe you don't feel you have the knowledge. The other thing is you don't feel like you can take up the space. Other people are already talking about what I want to talk about. Well, there's lots of people talking about what I like talking about. But that's okay, because why wouldn't I want lots of people talking about it? And that's where this kind of feeling of generosity comes in. I'm wondering for you what you're noticing. Feel free to type in the comments what you're noticing is coming up for you while I'm talking about all of things. What kind of things did you learn growing up? What kind of things maybe your boss or the work world has told you? The reason I work for myself is because I don't want to abide by the constructs that people say I have to abide by when I'm working for someone else. You know, I still do some therapy, but the majority of the time I'm not, because I want to do what my clients need the way that they need it done. Now, it's still ethical. There's still, you know, I'm still abiding by laws. However, I don't want to have to fit into a construct, because I have these gifts. I have this way of being that I want to have. What way of being do you want to be having when you're on camera? When you step in front of either that little green dot that I'm looking at right now on my laptop, or whether you step in front of your Canon or your phone or whatever that is, who do you want to be being in that moment? How do you see yourself when you're looking in the camera? I mean, I can see myself just a little bit below, and I could talk to myself pretty much all day long. No, you may not say, you may say like, Rachel, you could, but I can't. The fact of the matter is, this stuff is learned. Learning to be able to enjoy yourself is a really big key to this journey of speaking your truth. And somebody said, well, Rachel, I can write whatever I need to write. I don't have to talk. I don't have to do video. But speaking your truth is part of the journey of your realization and taking yourself to the next level. I mean, how many of you have only had things in your head and you just have the same things in your head over and over, and you keep having that thought, you keep having the thought, you keep having the thought. And maybe one time you're like, I am done with this shit. I'm not doing it anymore. Finally, you're like, okay, it's done. Moving on. But it's like you speak it into your reality. Your reticular activation system says, this is what's real now. This is my reality. I am speaking it. And it's not faking it till you make it. It's not that. It's embodying that feeling, and it's saying no more. This is what I want instead. So sometimes I will even say, and I've told several of you this probably I have in other videos and maybe even personally, like it's like this, no, thank you. I see you, I hear you, and that is no longer how I want to be thinking. So I literally take my hand, I'm like, no, thank you. And this is what I'm going to do instead, right? This is the path that I am choosing instead. So I wonder what you feel when you're watching this video with me, when you're interacting with me on this video. Whether you're watching the live or recording, it doesn't matter. Think about how you and I are interacting right now. Because what I love to have it be is conversation. What I love to have is the interaction. This is why I love live video. And even if no one is really, it looks like there's one person on here with me right now, that's totally fine. I get to have a one-on-one conversation with someone, but people will always watch my next videos. So if you're like, Rachel, I'm not an entrepreneur, so what can I take away from all of this? Your takeaway is, how do you want to be in your professional life? What kind of woman are you wanting to be? How do you want to communicate? How do you want to interact? What do you want people to see when they look into your eyes? What do you want them to feel when they're in your presence? Because when you embody that, you don't have to do anything for the other person. Does that make sense? I don't have to worry about how you're feeling about what I'm talking about. I'm just going to talk and speak from my heart, and I'm being the woman I want to be. So as I'm going to wrap this up, I wrote something in the post today, and it truly, truly came from my heart. Because other than teaching a how-to, like I can teach you how to use Trello, I can teach you how to push the live button. There's 1,000 videos on how to record a live on Facebook, how to record a live on Instagram, how to record a TikTok, there's tons of how-to videos. But when you want to show up consistently, or when you want to get started, it's okay if you're scared. It's okay if you don't know what to do. But now you have a resource that you can reach out to. That would be me. And say, hey, can you help me out? Hey, I'm wondering about this. But really it is about you beginning to change the perception of yourself and embodying the feelings and the way of being that you want. So I'm going to read this to you. And it just comes from this deepest place, and I hope that you can hear that. And it says this: we are waiting to see you, your smile, your eyes, knowing that you see us too. We are waiting to hear you, your laugh, your sadness, your heart. We are waiting to communicate with you, your words, your body, and your heart. We are waiting to see us in you. When you are the most authentic you can be on video, when you are coming from a deeper place, the connection with people will be massive. I talked to a client today about opening her heart. And when you open your heart, there's a different way that comes about within you. And the way that we know and feel connected is that we see ourselves in other people. We see, I see my smile when I look in the mirror or when I look on video. I see my dad's smile. I see my brother's smile, right? When I smile or when my eyes light up or I get super excited, sometimes you feel that energy. So maybe the first little step that you can take is considering the possibility that video is about humanness. It is about connection, and it is about the soul. So I'm going to leave this here tonight. I'm going to end this video like I end every single video, asking you to make sure to stay true to yourself, be kind to others, and always, always, always honor the wise one that is within you. I hope to see you all next week on the Rachel Freeman Sowers Live Show. Until then, bye.